He's going to take you as the man. And he said to the guy, go sit down with your wife and get the Bible out and talk to your wife, and don't remind your wife of what she's done or what you think she has done. Your wife is the prophetess.
Yes.
Be careful what you tell your wife, because she will remind you what you said.
I read, and then I got day 3, leadership. A great leader is not necessarily the one with the greatest oratory abilities, but is one with intimate skill of connecting with people. How do you think of things like that? How do you? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. We are 10,000 subscribers. Keep going. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers. We really thank you for being a part of this. And we've got a great guest, a great man of God, and I'm excited that he's here. He's gonna share with us a few things. I'll introduce him. He's a spiritual father, a loving husband, father of 2 daughters, grandfather to 2 beautiful grandchildren, man of honor, man of integrity, a great example to many. He's the author of various books, including You Are Enough and No More Limits. His passion and desire are to build and empower generations to become better in their sphere of influence, whatever the walk of life. Bishop Maddix, welcome.
It's good to be here, man. Welcome. How do you know so much about me?
I did my homework.
I could see that.
Yeah, you like the intro?
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? Did I miss anything?
No, you did pretty good.
Yeah. Good to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man.
Yeah. Good. Looking very smart.
Thank you.
If the marriage is failing, so then marriage is failing.
Okay.
So what are they meant to do? Because that's why you say, oh, I'm married. That's what I was saying to you earlier. Or maybe I married the wrong person. Or she's not the person I married. She's not she's not the way I thought she was. Or she's changed. Whatever, putting on weight, or suddenly now, kind of the love goes out the window. Suddenly the things which you didn't see, because I see this when you're young in a relationship, honeymoon period, however long that lasts. Do you know what I mean? You don't see the flaws with the other person. Now when you start living with them, suddenly you see, oh, they leave things here, they do this, they fart, they walk, and then suddenly now you're seeing all these flaws. How do you live with that? You're thinking, no, this is not the person I married. This is not. They put that image of what you think they were, but now this is the reality has come. The scales are fallen. You know what I mean? The makeup's off. Now this is a real Leroy Maddix. So how do you deal with that 38 years later?
It's interesting. Of course, you're asking me a question, but noted, and of course I understand what you're saying. Noted. The question is, and you realize that she's this, and you realize that she's that, and you realize that she's that. Yeah. And so, how about the man?
Yeah.
It goes back. When I got married, the truth is, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea. Our salvation, I guess, was the fact that we had a relationship with Jesus Christ. But we were young. Parenting is so important, because good parenting, I have learned this, and whoever will watch this podcast, the men need to understand this. God has given the overall responsibility to the man. I remember a story, and I've got some amazing people in my life. And I remember a man was going through a really, really difficult time with his marriage.
Okay, wow.
It's not so much that they were thinking about divorce or anything like that. And he rang this man. This man is a bishop who I happen to know. And the man spoke to the bishop, and the bishop listened to the man. The man is talking about his wife, and of course that can happen, so don't get it twisted. A man can have, you can have a wife who kind of who is just not in subjection to your leadership. I understand that does happen, And I remember what the bishop said to that man. It was such wisdom. And he said, okay, here's what you need to do. It's going to take you as the man. And he said to the guy, go sit down with your wife and get the Bible out and talk to your wife, and don't remind your wife of what she's done or what you think she has done. Don't remind her, because don't forget, you have to be the one who put it together, even though she may be in the wrong. So let me give you an example, Chris. Let me give you an example. Imagine this facility here. It's, this is your business, and you employ 50 people. And but your office is somewhere else, and but you put a manager, because you would have to do that. The manager's in charge of everybody else here. But things are going missing. Products are going missing. And so you're losing a lot of money. Now you're coming here to have a meeting with who?
The owner. The owner?
No, you're the owner. So you're coming here to have a meeting with who? The manager. The guy you have placed in charge to have oversight of everything. You're not coming to have meetings with the employees. Why are you going to have a meeting with the manager?
Because he's the overall.
Absolutely. In the marriage, who has God given the overall responsibility?
The man.
Absolutely. And so here's what that man had to do. Forget about this and forget about that, and sit down with his wife and said, honey, I want you to know something. I want to be the man that God has created me to be. I want to be the husband to you that God has created me to be. But I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your support, because I know that I can do so much better. But I know that I can only do it with your help. And so from today, we're going to move on. I'm going to teach you the precept and the principles of God. And together, we are going to hold hands, and we are going to move forward together in the way that God has intended for us to move together. Those words changed the situation with his wife. Today, their marriage is totally different.
Can you imagine?
Perspective. Yeah. And so is immature people blame each other. And immaturity, you can have a 30-year-old who's more mature than a 50-year-old. So age does not always equal wisdom. And so it comes back again, is understanding what your responsibility and role is. It's interesting in marriage, right? That we are known as groom. The woman is the bride. But we are grooms, right? And the groomsmen.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what a groom is?
Someone who nurtures, who
prepares,
who makes.
Absolutely.
That's what it means, yeah.
Who is that? The female or the male?
The male.
There you go.
Wow. It's funny because you're saying that, because I've realized every time there's been a problem, like even myself actually, so-and-so, she's done this, and then you go to a counselor, she's done this. The counselor never says, especially if they are godly, the woman did it. He always turns to the man. You are supposed to. And then you're thinking, no, but I'm not the one in the wrong here. Yeah, but have you done this? You're supposed to, So that makes a lot of sense what you're saying there, because...
Think if you're the pastor of a church, and you have, every person can relate to this, because every church has their rebellious people in every church. There are even people that you will appoint, and people can be rude to you and be obnoxious to you, but you wouldn't give that back to them, would you?
No. Because you're the leader.
Absolutely. Yeah. God has placed you in a position of influence, a position of trust. And by the way, a leader is a leader, whether you're a church leader or a business leader or corporate leader. there's a big difference between a leader and a boss. Nobody wants to follow a boss, but everyone will follow a leader, because leaders make people better. I love. There's a quote that says, if you can inspire people to do better, to dream more, to do more, to become more, you're a leader. I love that, because it's true. That's what leaders do. Leaders make people better. Leaders see what is in people and help them to become what he realized that they can become. That's what good leadership does. And in a marriage, it's the same. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same. And don't get me wrong, because I've been there when I felt like she was this and she was that. But then I realized, it took me years, but I realized what my role is as the head of the home.
Oh my God. What a revelation. Feels like a bit of counseling here, man.
Yeah.
What a revelation. Oh my God. I mean, if men listen to what you're saying there, there'll be no divorces.
Absolutely. Whom God joined together,
Yes.
let no man put asunder.
Yes.
That include the couple.
Yeah.
Let no one.
Put asunder.
When God joins, he glues.
Yes.
That's what Genesis
Yes.
talks about.
Yes.
He glued them together. That's why marriage is such a unique, the most unique of all human relationships is a man and his wife.
So when you say whom God joined together, are you trying to say that there's people whom God don't join together?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are they supposed to do then? What are they supposed to do then?
You know the wonderful thing about our God? Grace.
Yeah.
And when people come to him, he forgives them. And he's the only one who can put a mess back together and turn that mess into a message. He's the only one who can do that.
Yeah.
So that's the wonderful thing. It's the same as when somebody divorces. A Christian. If a person don't know Christ, divorce, they don't know.
Yes.
About a Christian, and they remarried.
Yes.
Remarried.
Yes.
God gives us grace. Some people don't, but God gives us grace. He gives you a second chance. But many a time when, that's why it's important before people get married, the guy and the girl, irrespective of age, that they should both be prepared. One of the things that I say to people, that, and it's normally, it can be the man or the woman. Sometimes, the woman will say, I want the man to be like this.
Yeah.
I want him to be like that. He should be earning this. He should be earning that. He should be. Now I listen to all that. Then I turn and I ask her, are you that?
Yeah.
You can't want something you're not. Or you're not in place of working on yourself to become. Because it's not fair. How can you want that of the man, but you're not that of the woman?
Yeah. It's all this expectation we set of ourselves, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This is yeah, of course, if I was in the same thing, I would say, what are you looking for in a woman? I would give you all this long list. What are you looking for? Yeah. But then, of course, if you ask me that, are you the opposite? That's what you
Absolutely.
Of course, it probably wouldn't be half of those.
Absolutely.
Things.
And nothing is wrong with your list, because you should have expectations. Only a naive person don't.
Yeah.
But make sure that you fulfill much of those expectations as well. And so, but when God puts two people together, he doesn't put two perfect people together. The great thing about marriage is where you learn to grow together. You learn to dream together. You have your vision that you're right for your marriage. You do that together. It's a together thing. Women play a real important role in marriage.
So let's talk about divorce for a minute. So then, because I think there's something you're doing a series on divorce, isn't it?
Yeah, finished now, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about a Christian setting here. Like you said, Christians don't know any better, so they probably divorce anyway, and they, move on to. I met a guy a few minutes ago. He said he's been divorced twice. I said, you need to come on this show. We're going to talk about that. So, what would you say to someone who wants to divorce? The marriage is not working.
who wants to divorce.
Yeah, that's the last resort. Like, I have to get out of this.
Yeah.
They're Christian.
Yeah. You know, there is always one, find, oftentimes there's a radio guy in America. I think he's a Christian. And whenever people phone in, his relationship is big. Whenever people phone in and that they want to get a divorce, or they feel that they want to get a divorce, he asks them this question, always. How many of your friends are divorced?
Yeah.
And do you know almost 99.9% of the time,
I know.
2-3 of his friends are divorced.
Oh, is it? Of the one who wants to get divorced?
No, the guy who rang in and saying to this man that he wants to get a divorce, he's considering, the man asked him, how many of your friends are divorced? How many of your friends that you run with are divorced? And 2-3 of them will be divorced.
So they probably
tend to flock together. And so, you know, there is always hope. You know, I have learned now and in a place of my life where I realize I don't allow my feelings and my emotions to get the better of me. Because the truth, Chris, most of the times it's people's feelings and emotions that get the best of them. A man can marry a woman and think that she's the wrong woman. Him thinking she's the wrong woman don't make her the wrong woman. That's just him thinking she's the wrong woman. He is probably the man who don't know what to do to get the best out of this woman. And I've seen that where a woman is divorced and now she's remarried, and the way she looks now, she never looked like that with the first guy. So what's the difference? This man knows how to, you know, when you think of precious, expensive things, gold and silver and pearls. When you think of gold, most people never think about, but you know, to get gold, you got to go dig through a lot of dirt. But you're not looking for dirt. Yet still you got to go through dirt to get gold. When you think of silver, you've got to do almost similar. When you think of pearls, you've got to dive deep in the ocean and it's covered in shell. Anything that is valuable, anything that is of any worth, always costs you something. Gold costs, that's why it's so expensive. Diamonds, it is hard to get at, that's why it's so expensive. Pearl, you better be a good swimmer. You know, it's hard to get at, and it's covered up. That's why it's so expensive. And anything that is of any value, if it's cheap, it never lasts. Marriage is one of the most expensive things, and that means it takes time. It's so valuable that it takes time to invest in it. It takes work, not emotion, but work, where both parties can sit down and say, honey, together we are going to do this with God in it. And then you get good advice. Always run with people who are positive. Run with people who you know have good marriages. Speak to your pastor. You have a good pastor. Speak to your pastor. You have all the people there. You know, when people fail, it's because they want to fail. Almost always when people fail, it's because they choose to fail. I often say to people, when you think of success, every success story is a person made a decision that they're going to succeed. Didn't mean that they didn't fall, but they picked up themselves again. But watch this, Chris, in the same way, the person who failed, guess what? They also made a decision. So either way, you don't get out. You fail, it's a decision. You succeed, it's a decision. So God gives us his word, right? What he told Joshua in Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 about to meditate in this word.
Daily, day and night.
Absolutely.
Day and night. Yeah.
Then you will make. Who makes your way successful? You.
You.
Then you will make your
Good
way
success. Yeah.
prosperous, and then you will have good success. It's back to the manual again.
Wow, what a rip! Oh my God. I mean, God. So I mean, I struggle with personally
Yeah.
Arguments. Have an argument, and you don't want to talk to the person for a few days. I know it says do not go to bed angry. What do you say? Don't let the sun go down on your anger. So tell me about that. How do you get out of that? How do you get out? Because
We're all guilty of that.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I've done it.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I've done it before. In all of us, both male and female, human beings, full stop. We have egos.
Yeah.
We have pride.
Yeah.
The thing about it is where it becomes crazy is when our egos and our pride is in charge of us rather than we in charge of it. Because being hungry is not a sin.
Yeah, it's what you chose to do after.
Absolutely. Because Jesus said it. Be angry, but don't sin. You know, so and you know, when Jesus said, don't let the sun go down in your wrath. In other words, every night we go to bed, you don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow or not.
Yeah.
You hope you're going to wake up. Your wife hopes you're going to wake up. I hope I'm going to wake up. But we can go to bed with confidence if we make up our mind that we're going to live according to the Word of God and realize that we don't have to live based on our feelings and our emotions. And let me just say that for anyone who's watching this, I've got to make sure this is a daily thing for me, so I'm not perfect in that, but I'm so aware of that that I'm doing way better now than I was years ago. And so what happened, both male and female have that pride thing. And here's where it comes back again. When the man takes lead and that man begins to serve his wife, and to the degree where she can see God in him, it changes the wife and it changes the entire home. Because God created men. One of the things that I do sometimes when I want to, for evangelism, to put some things together for people out there on the streets, I never ask Christians. I put something together, a flyer together, but I never give it to a Christian to read.
Oh.
I give it to people who don't know nothing about God. I ask them, please read that to me and tell me what you think. And they'll read those 5 points and they'll say, 2 or 3 of those, that's me. And they'll say, you know what? That's a message that's impactful. And they will say, I know it's from a church, but they don't see the church. They see the message. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's realizing that you don't have to allow your feelings to get the better of you. That's why the Bible says that we are to grow in grace and in knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because when you grow, when you're mature, you're able to put aside childish things.
That's right. That's Paul, isn't it? Was it Paul?
Absolutely. When you go to bed sulking, 40-year-old man, a 45-year-old man, that's what 5-year-olds do, right?
But the thing is, I've realized again that, like, I tend to get angry quickly. I don't know, for silly things, and I realize if I don't sort that out quickly, if I leave it a few days, it's going to be a bigger problem. It now becomes this happened. I carry on, and then it becomes bigger. By the time you come to sort it out,
absolutely,
it's such a mountain.
Absolutely,
you could have, 10 seconds maybe you would have, finished that and move on to the next.
Absolutely.
One. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That is such a big thing. Just knowing how to, not like you're saying, you've wanted to work out a lot of times, but you haven't done. But you think, she's done this, she's done that. You're just going to ignore that because you're the bigger man, isn't it?
Absolutely. Human beings like to blame.
Yeah.
There are 40-year-old, 50-year-olds still blaming their parents.
I know.
It's crazy.
For how it turned out.
Yeah.
Is that what they call trauma, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And yeah, your parent might have traumatized you, but I mean, you're 40 for peace sake. Come on, you should have grown up a long time, man. It's what people choose, and again, we have the Word of God. And there are plenty of people in the Bible that have been traumatized, but we see how God turned
Their lives around.
And you can use your trauma in a positive way.
Yeah, that's true.
When you look at many broken people today, people who have done amazing, who have touched millions of lives, they were broken people. They were broken. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at Benny Hinn. He couldn't hear the stutter for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And look how big a preacher
Absolutely.
he came out to be. Yeah.
And so when you look at, there's a guy in, I think it's New Zealand. He was born with no feet, no hands. He's changing the world for Jesus. Married a beautiful woman, has about 3-4 children.
Oh my God.
And he can swim better than me.
Look at that.
Born with no feet, no hands. So what's our excuse, Chris?
Yes. I know. Oh my God. Amazing. Listen, we're going to run out of time. I want to talk about your book.
Okay.
I couldn't leave this out. I mean, I bought it.
Okay.
And I read through it.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh my God. Listen, I have to support your cause. I mean, I read through it. I've got a lot of, I recommend it. I've got highlighting so many things. Anyway, first, before we go into this, you got the first one. Is it More Than Enough? What is it called?
Yeah, my first book was More Than Enough.
More Than Enough. I mean, what made you start writing anyway?
You have some really good questions. It's something I've always wanted to do. When God puts something in you, but you play a part in it as well.
Yes.
And you can, procrastination is the thief of time.
Okay.
Procrastination can steal your years. And there are so many people, I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe said that the richest place is not, the Middle East with all the oil, South Africa with its diamonds, but it's the cemetery.
Oh my God.
Because it is there that dreams were never realized.
Oh my God.
Companies were never started. Books were never written. Songs were never sung.
I mean, look at Steve Jobs.
Absolutely.
The amount of ideas he died with.
Absolutely. But look, his legacy lives on.
Lives on. Yeah.
And so, God placed us human beings here, and He fills us with things, with giftings. We are meant to leave this earth with nothing in us that He gave us. We're supposed to leave empty.
I heard someone say that yesterday, actually.
Okay.
I heard someone say that yesterday. Yeah.
And so, I've always had this passion to write, but it was always kind of like to get started. But once you get started, it actually becomes easier. Not easy, but it becomes easier. Yeah. And actually begin to enjoy it. And so I really got stuck into it. But I've got some, and that's why we need people in our lives. I've got a few people in my life who push me.
Okay, that's good.
Says, one is my daughter.
Okay.
Of course, the number one is my wife.
Okay.
Your wife is the prophetess.
Yes.
Be careful what you tell your wife, because she will remind you what you said. And so a number of people pushed me, and thank God for them. And so I wrote the first one. And what was really nice, there's a group of Americans came over, we know them, and these pastors bought they were the first one, bought a whole bunch to take back to America for their men's ministry.
Oh my God.
So I was really blessed by that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What was it about? Was it a devotional as well, or was it just?
It was what I tried to write is kind of like a quick read.
Okay. Yeah.
And I like to write so that when you read the first chapter, you kind of like got to read the second chapter, kind of a thing, So I'm kind of like, you kind of choose what you want to do. So I'm kind of like more like that. Devotionals kind of a thing. So I've got 2 other projects that I'm going to be working on.
Okay.
Yeah. My second one,
This one, yeah, I've gone through. I've read.
Yeah.
I've been reading it. Like
No More
you got like
Limits.
day 1, day 2, day 3,
Yeah,
and then a lot of them I resonate with them. I'm thinking like day 2 says don't quit and do all these
Yeah.
things, and I'm I mean, I read, and then I got day 3, leadership. A great leader is not necessarily the one with the greatest oratory abilities, but is one with intimate skill of connecting with people. How do you think of things like that? How do you?
I tell you what. I was going to America
Mm.
maybe almost 30 years ago now,
Okay.
and I was on the plane. It was an American carrier. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the American carriers. And the in-flight
Okay.
magazine.
Magazine.
I love to read.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Chris, I've got hundreds of books.
Okay.
I came from a background. I had an auntie who was a principal in Jamaica. That's an headmistress.
Yes.
I was a country boy, so she would come up with her children, my cousins, on holiday. I used to hate when she came up. I love when the children came up, but hated when she came up.
Yeah.
You know why I hated it?
Yeah.
Because she's a principal.
Yeah.
Once a principal,
Always.
always a
Even
principal.
in the house.
And though we were on holiday, there would be times that woman would get us all together to do book things, and not realizing that it became part of who I am. So I love to read, and so I began. I pulled out the in-flight magazine. This is important for that book. You've asked me the question. I started to look through it, and in the middle page, I was reading about this man. It was Joel. I think it was Joel Lombardi. Lombardi is an Italian name,
Okay.
which he was an amazing American football player and coach, kind of like Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yes.
Football
Of that time.
you know. And this is years and years ago. He's dead now. But I was so mesmerized by what he was saying, just some of the statements that he was saying, some of the quotations, and I fell in love with quotations from that day. 37,000 feet up. I think I put that in the book.
Yeah.
And so I went to America, landed in America, went to Walmart. You ever been to America?
No, I haven't been.
Walmart.
Have to go. Yeah.
Walmart is huge, and they had these beautiful, inspirational, frames, kind of like that frame there, kind of like just like $1.99.
$1.99. Oh, is it?
$1.99. Then it was like £1. The pound was really strong. And I bought it. Came back and spent £25 on a frame.
Oh wow.
Bought the thing for £1, spent £25 on a frame. And
Where did you put it?
in my office
Okay.
and at home. And so inspirational quotes is something I love because I think it challenges people.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And also studying leaders. I've listened to Obama on many occasions, Martin Luther King on many occasions, JFK many occasions, and so forth and so on. And so I've kind of like used some of those quotes with scriptures, and then of course I would write from my feelings, and so forth. And that's how I put that book together.
Oh my God, it's not because it's not one of those. I think when you finish, it's a thing you read over and over again.
Absolutely,
isn't it?
I've read it probably 7 times.
Yeah,
And it's my book.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know.
Because I said I have to read it so that I can
Yeah.
ask you questions from it.
Yeah.
And I think, when I look at it, it's like when you finish reading, come back to you again and read it again and read it again, and something will just jump out at you.
It inspires, right?
Yeah, it does. It inspires. I mean, like, don't quit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like quitting all the time. I'm thinking,
Absolutely.
Don't quit. And then I read we've written there about not quitting. Be your best. Do you know what I mean? Don't let anyone, ignorance, hate, drama, or negativity stop you from being the best person you can be.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Absolutely.
Because you get people who, you try and do something, actually looking at that quote. If you tell someone what you're going to do, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do that for?
Yeah.
It's been done before. You can. And then once you listen to that voice, that's the dream gone.
Absolutely.
You don't, and then later maybe somebody else, even him or her, might go and do that thing. I've seen that so many times. I tell someone that, I'm thinking of doing this. Yeah, okay, no, you can't do that. No. But the time you go on to doing it, that person has done it.
Yeah. That's why it's important to know who to share your heart with.
Yeah.
And especially your vision with, you cannot share it with everybody.
No.
But, I don't, And again, it's who you hang around with. And that book, actually, it was the theme for my church last year, No More Limits.
Okay.
But my bishop, I'm under covering. My bishop, Bishop Lyle Dukes, in America. It's a, I had a different title for the book. I can't remember what it was, but it would have been pretty close. And we were online together, and he was speaking to us as a bunch of ministers, and he made one statement, and I thought, I'm going to change what I had. I'm turning it into No More Limits. You know, because I believe that there are no limitations. Faith, there's no limitations to faith. You know, God said to Abraham, when Lot separated from his life, then the Lord spoke to him and says, look to the east, to the west, to the north, and to the south. And he said, as far as you can see.
That's how I'm going to make you.
Absolutely. And he's saying, still that's limited. Because it's as far as Abram could see. You know what I'm saying? But as far, because God will only take you as far as you can see. He cannot take you beyond.
Wow.
He takes you as far as you can see.
What?
It's not as far as that. It's not as far as he can do.
But
it's as far as you can see. And it's what you see. What you see in him. If you think that he can do exceedingly and abundantly beyond and above, he will do that in you. If you don't see that, he will not do that in you. It's what you see. Because faith gives you the ability to see beyond your present circumstances and in what you can achieve and accomplish for the kingdom. But whatever you accomplish, it must always benefit others.
That's true, though.
It must always
benefit that's true. Others. It's no point doing it and then it's just for yourself.
Because no gift that God gave us, he didn't give you a gift for you to benefit you. It will benefit you, but he gave you that gift to benefit others. And anything that benefits others will benefit you.
I mean, look at marriage, like you especially, 38 years on, and you're inspiring other people.
Absolutely.
To, you know.
And it gives me great confidence, Chris, to speak about, because, you know, 39 years, you become, you know a few things. You know, you become the book. Some people, you can read a book, and people should read books, you know, but we now are that book, our lives with people, and we do. Right now, we are helping so many young couples right now. But what's being able to hold them together is the fact that they have us. The proof of our marriage, but also the proof of our daughter's marriage.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because they see, it's that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob scenario. You know, they see their bishop and his wife with his daughters and their husbands.
And then, of course, now the daughters go
absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely.
So the lineage. Oh my God. So this thing you're doing in Redditch, tell us about it.
Oh, the
marriage thing.
The man, you really done your homework.
Oh, listen, man.
We're Reddish next year, April. I started the marriage retreat last year in Southampton.
Okay.
And so we went back to Southampton again this year, April.
Okay.
But we've listened to what people wanted, and people wanted this and people wanted that, in the sense of not the curriculum for the retreat, but the place.
Okay.
And they wanted to be able to have more quality rooms. So we went out and looked, and of course we had to negotiate to get a good deal. But this facility is an amazing hotel. I mean, I love that hotel so much. It was my wife's birthday on the 31st of May. I took her there. I'm going there in January. In January, we take a few days out to set us up for the year.
For the years.
And they are and so it's a larger facility, huge golf course, jacuzzi, swimming pool, because you know it's a marriage retreat. So you know we factor in romance. We factor in, you know, people want to go to play golf, to go to the swimming pool, to go to the jacuzzi, to just have an incredible time. So, and it's hidden away kind of a thing, you know. It's a beautiful thing, and so I really want to. The first one we did, we had like 26 couples.
Wow.
That was last year.
Wow.
This year we doubled that,
Oh my God.
47 or something like that. Would you believe, Chris, that we had a couple who were 72?
That came on the retreat.
I was so humbled by that. And so what I'm looking for next year, I'm looking to even double that,
Yeah.
to maybe
104, 140, 114?
yeah,
120?
you know, or near enough 100 people, whatever that is in couples. Yeah, but I see this the facilitators, Bishop Mark and Pastor Verona Crossfield, they are amazing. But it's a place where you have a lot of fun, because it's, you know, it's for the workshops, then you have the rest of the day free to just connect with people. And you know what it's like when people, by the way, the retreat has saved a number of marriages.
Oh, man, that's the whole idea.
Already.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
People who are struggling and they came on to the
Absolutely.
retreat.
And everybody who came the first time were there the second time and want to come back the third time. Because what it's done, and it's also brought relationships of connection with relationship with people way up there now. And you know, and that's part of it, to see people sit down and talk and laugh, and to see this year the youngest couple, not necessarily in age, but in marriage, was like 8 months.
What is it?
It's a year now. Yeah.
Amazing.
But that's how amazing it
Yeah.
is. So we're putting some video and things together. for
I'd
the
love to
couple.
see that.
I will send it to you.
See that. I mean,
So good. So
Just a
good.
top up from last year's one.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
we can testify last year it was a bit of a rough patch for us. We went away with some learning which we've applied, and this year we've got even more things that we can take away from, such as communicating better and getting help.
Your 3 C's. Yeah. Communication,
Yep.
compromising,
Yep.
and
Commitment.
commitment. There you
Yeah.
go. So the 3 things that we've taken out so far.
And communication.
Communication.
That's the main one for
Communications
us.
is the main one.
Yeah.
Because, and I will say this because we could have had a full-blown argument last night about a situation. I won't go into it. But we used the strategies and the information that we learned in yesterday's seminar, and we put it into practice, and it actually helped to de-escalate the situation and to get a better result.
I've really enjoyed it.
An eye-opener. An absolute eye-opener. Like, because we're still a young couple and we still have our roller coaster that we're on, seeing that other people are experiencing the same things that we are really helps, and to get the help and the information has been very, very beneficial.
Yeah, I agree with that.
and so you're saying workshop. So when you say workshop, what do you mean? You teach people on?
Yeah, so it's 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we come home on the Saturday. The Wednesday really is, you know, people come in different times, and then we register. We have a little time together, then we eat and have a laugh together. Then the Thursday morning and the Friday morning is exactly the same. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is lunch. Then we come back and have some fun together. And the rest of the day
Just for yourself.
is for yourself. To go swimming, to play golf, to go to the jacuzzi, to go walk with your wife, and it's a huge facility. To be with friends, to talk, how long you've been married. You can see, the struggles that. What's great about it is that you will connect with people who you might be going through a struggle, and you realize that it's not unique.
It's not just you alone. There's someone else who's
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it that collaboration with people, it matters so much. Really excited about it.
Amazing. Yes. So actually, that's when you send that to me. I'm going to put it on the podcast.
I will.
And I'll run it
Yeah.
with this podcast, and then people can see, and then I'll share it, because there's loads of places where I can share it. And
Sure.
Amazing. That's amazing. You never know. You'll have about 300 people next time.
Oh, listen, man, I want it to be, my vision is to, as I told the guys, is to be able to book the entire hotel out. It's the marriage retreat. We have larger facilities at Redditch for next year, so I'm excited about that.
We found it absolutely amazing. I mean, the workshops have been brilliant. They've just been so informative, practical, and I think just what every married couple needs, whether you are 7 months in like us or you've been doing this for years. I think it was just what it needed. And then we have a great time of fellowship and socializing. It's just a beautiful location, so it's been amazing.
I would, yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it. I loved the way it was presented by all the bishops that were there. I liked all the engagement from everybody. Everyone's experiences were really
Relatable.
Yeah, relatable. Brought a lot of knowledge to the whole thing, didn't it?
Absolutely. And also, they kept it real.
Yeah.
There was no pretense. They just kept it real and honest and very transparent, and that is very key with me.
And if you're missing this year, listen, come back next year. I'm telling you, you'll not regret this. We're definitely going to come back.
Yeah, definitely. You get
We're
to
gonna come
learn.
back.
Marriage is about learning and learning.
Just different couples coming around, different staging and ages, elderly to the youngest one, etc. Everyone's got something to take away from this
Yeah.
retreat. Definitely recommend people to come.
You know, Chris, one of the things that Christians don't do, they don't share their lives with anybody.
No. Sometimes we think if you do that, someone's going to hinder your miracle to go forward.
Yeah,
It gets so spiritual.
that's not possible.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know.
Because when you read the Apostle Paul, he shares his life.
Yeah.
And so we have about 10 people or so, 10, 12, about 10 people going to be sharing their lives, their testimonies since they came to our church.
Okay.
What's happened in their lives,
Okay.
and so forth and so on. It has been planned for the past 3 months. So it's going to be an incredible service. People are going to hear. And ultimately, what we want is to impact people's lives. When people can hear about his life, her life, his life, her life, and see where they're coming from, it brings, it inspires, it challenges, but more importantly, it connects people to God. And that's what I want to do.
And also, you do a lot of outreach, don't you? You do a lot.
Yeah, we do.
You do, yeah. I realize, because I did see a lot of your flyers before, and you do them very professionally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Believe in excellence.
yeah, that's very, very good. Not a lot of people do that. You just put something together and it's a track, and here you go.
No.
But sometimes when you read something that's really written out nicely, you take your time to look at it and you think, oh, okay,
Absolutely.
what's this? Where is this place?
Yeah.
I want to come and have,
Yeah.
see what you guys are doing.
I think a church should, when it comes to their material and their facilities, they should think like a corporate organization. You'll never go into a Hilton that looks trashy.
No. Yeah.
So why should the things of God?
Why should they? Yeah.
And
Should be any different.
so
And finally, I was going to ask you. So now you being a pastor and your children, Michael,
and Joanna.
Joanna, I don't remember her name, but I remember
Yeah.
Michael because she used to sing along the choir.
Everyone remembers Makeup. She's the eldest, and she's the one who's always at the front.
Yeah, she sings her heart out. And now she's married to AJ, the drummer. I can visually see him at the back there, always playing the drums. So if they have issues in their marriage, they come to you?
They'll talk to me.
Intimate stuff or just?
No one has a perfect marriage, so they haven't come to me. I know if if they should hit rock bottom, they haven't yet, but they would come to me. I know that. AJ, even before he was married to my daughter, would speak with me.
Okay.
When he was at uni, he'd call me. If he wasn't sure about something, he would ask me. He's my son-in-law now, so, but he will talk to me. So I know that, but they have a really good marriage. I know that. I don't need them to tell me that. I see that.
Wow. I'm amazing because I'm thinking if I'm married to the pastor's daughter, I'm treading on eggshells here. I need to be my best behavior, otherwise it's gonna go.
No, we have. I have a great relationship with my two son-in-laws. I'm just me. They. When he married Michael, he thought Michael was spoiled.
Oh, okay.
And when I say spoiled, because
That is girl.
yeah, both of them, they never took bus to go anywhere.
I think the younger one is more of a daddy's girl. Oh, is it mommy's girl, the younger one?
She's more like her mom.
Yeah.
Michael is more like me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because wherever they, you know, when you have girls, you're even more protective.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, you know, I drove them everywhere. You know, so, you know, AJ went through as a young man, as a child and as a young man, he went through a lot of trauma.
Oh.
My daughters don't know trauma.
Of course they don't.
You understand?
Yeah, that's,
yeah,
they've had, yeah.
But if you know, when you talk to my son-in-laws and you hear their story, you look at them, you know, it's a wonderful thing to see what God can do.
What the transformation.
The lives of people, yeah. And you know, I'll say this, that for any pastor who may watch this podcast, I'm a blessed man.
You are.
Because I've got 2 son-in-laws that I'm so proud of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I understood what my responsibility was when my children, particularly when they were teenagers, and whenever they wanted to talk, Chris, they would say, Dad, could we talk? It didn't happen like lots of times, maybe 3 times. But whenever they wanted to talk, I would stop whatever I'm doing and I'd sit around the table and I'd listen to whatever they had to say. Now watch this. I didn't see where they were, but as their father, I had to see where they were
going.
Absolutely. Because how I am would determine the kind of men they would connect themselves with. And so I had to make sure that I was a good role model as a husband, a good role model as a father, and a good role model as a pastor. And I know we're coming to the end, but I remember years ago now, Chris, when I wanted to talk about family and marriage, I'll tell you something, what I did. I didn't speak to my wife about it. I called my daughters, they were teenagers then. I called them and I sat them down and I asked them this question. And let me tell you something, it was one of the most nerve-wracking things that I've ever did. I sat my daughters down and I asked them, am I a good father? Am I a good husband? Am I a good pastor? Do I practice what I preach? And if they had said no to one of them, I would not have done the series. I would have fixed what needs to be fixed.
First.
Absolutely. But they gave me the release years ago. Because nobody knows the pastor better than his children.
I mean, how many men can say that?
Yeah. But I did.
How many men can say that? And I was also going to ask you, and your son-in-laws, when they came to, especially AJ, I don't know who the other one is, when they came, can I have Mika's hand in marriage? You must have said yes before you even finished the sentence.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You know, it's so funny, when he rang me that day, he rang me many, many a times just to talk with me. Now, you know, phone ring sounds, it's the same ring tone all the time.
All the time, yeah.
It's like that day was a different ringtone.
Oh, was it?
It wasn't, but to me it was.
Oh, yeah, okay. It was good.
It's like I just knew that he was going to ask me that. And I'm thinking to myself, please don't ask me that. Please don't ask me that. And he did ask me that.
Did you go out to think about it, or did you say yes straight away?
I don't think I said yes straight away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I thought that, okay, let me think about it.
I can't imagine.
We had a few conversations.
It must have been nerve-wracking for him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Before that,
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God.
We met. I sat in my car with him, and
was it after he said after he
yeah,
left?
yeah. Now I know that he was just the 2 of us in my car. I literally threatened the guy. You know,
I can imagine.
I didn't threaten him. Like,
yeah, grill him.
You know, but when they got married, I learned later on that after that initial meeting, he wanted to go back to London to live.
Oh. If you had said no?
No, because he was so terrified in what I said to him. You know, of course I didn't say nothing bad to him. You know, when you're a father with girls and you're brought up your children, your daughters in a certain kind of way, it's so important. Because when you're now going to release your daughter to be married to someone, you are now releasing them to him. You understand? You want to make sure that the values that you have brought them up with, that this man has the same values, and I needed to make sure that he had the same values, and he does. Wow, he does.
Pastor, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
It's Bishop, isn't it? Bishop
Doesn't
Maddix.
matter. It doesn't matter.
We're gonna promote it as
Yeah.
30-day devotional, no more limits. We're gonna put the link in the description,
I appreciate
and I'm gonna
that.
get your Facebook page and all that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tag you on it, and we're gonna share this out, man. It's powerful, man. I'm gonna have to invite you again.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about more things.
I'd love to come back.
Yeah,
This time I know exactly where to come.
you know where to come now.
Yeah.
You won't need to start.
And I drive my own car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With all the gizmos. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Subscribe. We put all the link on the description, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.